A love like ours. My story with Erohi. From the moment I met Erohi, there was an undeniable connection. It wasn't just her beauty that captivated me, though she was stunning in every way, but something deeper. She had this aura of warmth, an infectious laugh, and eyes that sparkled with life. It was as if, in that instant, I knew I was in the presence of someone truly special, someone who would forever change my world. The story of us began on a rainy afternoon. I remember the day so vividly, even now, as if the memory was etched into my heart. We were at a mutual friends gathering, and while I wasn't in the best mood to socialize, that all changed the second Erohi entered the room. Dressed in a simple white dress, she radiated an effortless charm. When our eyes met, something clicked, a silent conversation, a shared curiosity. Little did I know that this was the start of the most beautiful journey of my life. The first date, sparks fly. I knew I had to talk to her, and gathering every ounce of courage, I approached her with a smile. We exchanged pleasantries, and before long, our conversation flowed effortlessly. We talked about everything: our favorite books, travel destinations, childhood memories, and it felt like we had known each other for years. As the evening went on, the rain outside seemed to mirror the sparks between us. A week later, we had our first date. It was at a quaint little cafe tucked away in a quiet part of town, a place that felt intimate and perfect for a first meeting. Erohi arrived in a soft lavender dress, her hair cascading over her shoulders, and my heart skipped a beat the moment I saw her. I had been nervous all day, wondering if she would feel the same connection I did. But the moment she smiled at me, all my worries faded. We talked for hours that evening, about life, dreams, and our shared love for art. Her passion for life was contagious, and I found myself hanging on to every word she said. As we sat there, sipping coffee and watching the world go by, there was an undeniable chemistry between us. I couldn't help but admire how her smile made everything seem brighter, and how her laugh was the sweetest sound I had ever heard. When the night ended, I walked her to her car, and under the soft glow of the streetlights, we shared a moment of silence, just enjoying each other's presence. And then, in that perfect moment, I leaned in and kissed her for the first time. It wasn't just a kiss, it was the start of something magical. From that moment on, we were inseparable, falling in love. The adventure begins. Our relationship blossomed from there. Every moment with Erohi felt like an adventure. Even the simplest of things, like walking in the park or cooking dinner together. She had a way of turning the mundane into something extraordinary. Her laughter filled the spaces in my heart I didn't even know were empty. One of our most memorable moments together was our first trip. We decided to escape the city and head to the mountains for a weekend getaway. The drive was filled with music, laughter, and stolen glances that made my heart race. As we reached the cabin, surrounded by towering trees and the crisp mountain air, it felt like we were in our own little world, away from the chaos of everyday life. That evening, we sat by the fireplace, wrapped in a blanket, sipping hot chocolate. The warmth of the fire couldn't compare to the warmth I felt just being close to her. Erohi had a way of making everything feel like home. As the flames flickered and the night grew colder, we snuggled closer, our hands intertwined, and in that quiet moment, I knew I had fallen deeply, irrevocably in love with her. The next morning, we hiked up a trail that led to a breathtaking viewpoint. The sun was just beginning to rise, painting the sky in shades of pink and orange. Standing there with Erohi, watching the world wake up, I felt an overwhelming sense of gratitude. I had never felt so alive, so connected to someone before. As we stood there, taking in the beauty around us, I pulled her close, kissed her forehead, and whispered, "I love you." Intimate moments, the deepening of our bond. Our relationship wasn't just built on the big, adventurous moments but also on the intimate, quiet times we shared. One of the most special aspects of my relationship with Erohi was the way we connected, not just emotionally, but physically. Every touch, every kiss felt like a declaration of love. Our physical connection deepened the emotional bond we shared, and every time we were together, it felt like our souls intertwined just a little more. There was a night that stands out vividly in my memory, a night when everything seemed to align perfectly. It was one of those evenings where time seemed to slow down. We were at her apartment, cooking dinner together, laughing at each other's attempts to make the perfect pasta. After dinner, we found ourselves on the couch, the soft glow of candles casting shadows around the room. Erohi rested her head on my shoulder, her fingers tracing gentle patterns on my arm. There was something so tender, so intimate in that moment. We weren't in a rush. There was no need for words. It was just us, in perfect harmony. When I looked into her eyes, I saw not just affection but a deep, abiding love that took my breath away. Slowly, our faces drew closer, and our lips met in a kiss that was filled with passion and tenderness. The rest of the night felt like a dream, one where we were entirely in sync, where every touch, every whisper was a reminder of how much we meant to each other. Our physical intimacy wasn't just about the passion. It was about the connection, the trust, and the vulnerability we shared. Being with Erohi in those moments made me feel more alive, more whole than I ever thought possible. She wasn't just my girlfriend. She was my partner, my confidant, and the one person who understood me completely. Creating memories, moments of pure joy. As time passed, our relationship continued to grow stronger. We made countless memories together, late-night drives, surprise dates, and quiet mornings spent in each other's arms. One of my favorite memories was when we went to a carnival together. Erohi had always loved the idea of carnivals, the bright lights, the cotton candy, the Ferris wheel that offered a view of the whole city. We spent the evening laughing like kids, playing games, and winning small stuffed animals that we'd later keep as souvenirs. When we got on the Ferris wheel, we shared one of those unforgettable moments, high above the world, with the city lights sparkling below us. As we reached the top, I looked over at Erohi. Her face lit up with joy, and I knew that I wanted to create a lifetime of memories with her. Our time together was filled with little surprises, like the time she planned a rooftop dinner under the stars for my birthday, or the time I surprised her with a weekend at her favorite beach. Each moment, big or small, was a testament to the love we shared and the joy we brought into each other's lives, the challenges and growth, a love that endures. Of course, like any relationship, we faced our share of challenges. There were disagreements, misunderstandings, and moments of frustration. But through it all, Erohi and I learned to communicate better, to listen to each other's needs, and to grow together. Our love wasn't perfect, but it was real, and that's what made it so special. We learned that love wasn't just about the romantic gestures and the happy moments. It was also about being there for each other during the tough times. Whether it was supporting each other through stressful work situations, or being a shoulder to lean on during personal struggles, we became each other's rock. Looking toward the future, as I sit here, reflecting on our journey together, I am filled with an overwhelming sense of gratitude. Erohi has brought so much love, light, and joy into my life, and I can't imagine my world without her. Every day with her is a reminder of how lucky I am to have found someone who not only loves me for who I am, but makes me want to be a better person. Our story is far from over. There are still so many memories to create, adventures to embark on, and moments to cherish. But no matter what the future holds, I know one thing for sure. I will love Erohi with all my heart for the rest of my days, because in her I have found not just a girlfriend, but a partner, a best friend, and the love of my life. This romantic story focuses on the emotional and meaningful moments between you and Erohi, highlighting the deep bond and intimate connection that you share. If there are any specific details or adjustments you'd like to add, feel free to let me know.